All right, we're back. Sorry about that. That was for live viewers. That was odd. Anyways, uh, E3 starts Sunday, guys. I actually just started thinking, for whatever reason, it hit me on the break that E3 starts Sunday, even though I've said it like 10 times today. And now I'm like real fucking excited because I say this every year, but this is basically Christmas for me. I love fucking E3. I love watching everything.
Were you listening to the conversation that Co and I were having
No,
before?
I was not.
Because you literally are word for word. We're
Really?
both like saying exactly what I said.
I've heard it's Gamer Christmas. I've heard that multiple times this week, and that's what I'm actually just going to start saying that as well. So let's just go in order. Go ahead.
To that point, JP, I don't know if you ever did this when you were a kid, but maybe there's a present, and maybe you were tempted to lift that tape and find out what that was, and then maybe you actually got away with it, and you realized that's no fun. That sucks. Like no good. So all these leaks, stop opening the damn presents. We can wait to open them at E3. Stop already.
I mean,
and there goes JP's next planned hour of the show.
Double tape that shit. No, I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I'm trying.
It's hard, you guys.
Right? It is incredibly hard not to have something because people are like, "Oh, we got a trademark for Gwent, you guys. That means it's announced." Like that's actually a thing. That's how Gwent was announced. Their standalone card game was announced via a trademark filing.
Like, well, they saw what Nintendo did for the last console, and they were like, "We got to get on this boat."
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like that's kind of the world we live in now. So I'm all right with it because we still don't know like what that game looks like. We know kind of what to look forward to, I guess, for that and the other games that have been leaked in that manner. But whatever. Like
whatever.
Leaks are gonna happen. Shit's gonna roll early on Twitch and YouTube for Watch Dogs, and it's just
posters for Justice are going to be marked with the street date, right?
Yeah. Also, hearing a few sentences about something that could be and seeing a trailer
is different.
Yeah. It's granted, there is something to be said about not being prepared for it. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Right. And I hope we get, like, I think last year, the Year of Dreams is what was coined for a lot of the E3 announcements. And I'm hoping we get the Year of Dreams 2 this year because there was just absurd stuff announced last year.
The Year of Dreams 2, Dream Harder.
There you go, Dream Harder. E3 2016, Dream Harder. Let's just go in the order of the conferences. So we're going to start with Electronic Arts. The big thing, obviously, they're going to be showing is Battlefield 1.
Hopefully some gameplay.
Wait, is that EA? No. Yes, that is. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
For some reason, I blanked. Yeah, that's DICE. DICE is owned by EA. So that's going to be shown. They're showing a 64-man multiplayer match on Sunday, and I think we're going to be able to watch that
after their press conference.
It's after their press conference.
Similar to what they did with Hardline, if you remember, when they rented out the top of that building on the hottest day in Los Angeles of E3.
And you get to see Golden Boy up there just fucking like,
oh, hey guys, we're here for Battlefield Hardline, just like drenching sweat and wind blowing papers around, and it was fucking hell.
That was actually kind of still. Was that 2 years ago when they did that?
I think it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I do remember them cutting to Golden Boy, and he's like, "Hey guys, we're here on the top of so-and-so tower," and I'm like, "You're what? We're gonna go to the helicopter shot, and the fucking helicopter's rotating the building and looking at all these players sitting. They can't even see the goddamn screens because the sun glare is hitting. It was
That was
an event. That was an event. But some of the other things in this article that people are talking about. Is that they said they're announcing a new IP at E3 that will release sometime in 2017. And they said, let's assume it's not like a scenario which is Mirror's Edge, Dragon Age, Star Wars for new IPs so that we can actually speculate. The new game Hazelight, of course, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, might be filling that new IP. It's by Hazelight. There might be a new Hazelight game there, is what a lot of people are thinking. I think the
guys who did Brothers.
Yeah, A Tale of Two Sons.
Dude.
Game was amazing.
That game crushed me. Like
it crushed a lot of people.
Like 3 games out there that have really I'm an emotional guy, so games can elicit emotional response out of me. Usually they're more of the angry, ragey stuff, but
right.
It takes a fucking awesome game to elicit like such a deep emotional response that besides that one, and Brothers is one of them. And if these guys are making another game, I'm really excited to see what it is because Brothers just killed me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It could be Criterion's something new from Criterion, which hopefully that works because they did.
Yep.
They did take Criterion. I think they put out that shitty Need for Speed game, which
showed-
everyone sucked.
The Criterion Games last year showed a trailer that I don't even think had a name that we should see more of this year.
Well, they also did that for Mass Effect Andromeda, and I think Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be shown.
I really hope so, man.
And I think people will just lose their shit when they see that on Sunday.
Dude,
don't
absolutely.
think that we might just not there. I saw some discussion on the fact that they didn't think that it was going to be Andromeda, but they did think there was going to be a Mass Effect announcement, and that could potentially be a remaster. For
I mean, that would make sense. Maybe they'll show something from. Maybe they'll do the thing where it's like, here's Mass Effect Andromeda trailer, cut back, and we're remastering all the old games for the new consoles. Okay, I'm all right with that. If they just lead and say like, here's Mass Effect 3 remastered, or here's Mass Effect 1 through 3 remastered, and that's it, that would really fucking be a buzzkill.
Andromeda has been a publicly slightly troubled project. It's had some controversy over the last 6 months.
Yeah.
It would be a very strong showing of solidarity for them to have some very positive, real looks at Andromeda at E3. I'm that's one of the ones I'm really rooting for. If they just ignore Andromeda, that would kind of suck to be
to
honest.
ignore means that you overshadow with disappointment. I think for other things it might still be cool, but you're just like, wait, really?
The other two things, I'm actually getting, as I read through this, I'm getting really excited for EA's conference because BioWare actually put up a job listing for a new IP with significant online elements, perhaps MMO light, which might be EA's challenger to Destiny / Division from BioWare, which could be really interesting if that's true. The other thing
BioWare's good shit, man.
Yeah, the other thing that's fucking got me super excited right now is Electronic Arts owns the Star Wars they do everything Star Wars in video games. If they go to E3 this year and they don't show something Star Wars when the fucking craze is at a fever pitch right now, then they're fucking up. I hope we see something
they
new.
have to.
Do you think do you think they might do that with the Destiny division? They might do that?
That'd be fun as shit if they did.
Oh my god, I'd jump into that. I'm
Survival,
not a Star Wars hardcore guy, but I'd jump into a game like that if it was
a third-person Destiny style Star Wars game.
I might jump into
that.
Like
a persistent Star Wars RPG.
Yeah.
It's.
How about they just announce Coda 3 and we'll all go home and be happy.
They could.
I
agree. God. I think we're going to see something Star Wars.
I think we have to see something Star Wars.
I don't I hope it's not just about for an expansion or something like that. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, they've already talked about that a little bit, that we're going to get a Battlefront next year or something, right? That was, I think I saw that last week or maybe the week before, that they're already saying that's
something new.
I want something new in the Star Wars world. And I think it's Jade Raymond has actually said, and it says this in this post, has said that EA might paper announce their fall 2008 Star Wars game to help with hiring. And then, of course, they mentioned, in 2013, we got that 10-second CG trailer for Battlefront. And then I don't know if it was at EA's, but we saw that footage for 1313 years ago. And then that got canceled. So I'm hoping something... I think that would be an amazing way to start out fucking E3 2016 if we saw something Star Wars and it was big. It wasn't
another Jedi Knight kind of game would be incredible.
Anything Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, we say that, but then there was Battlefront, so it's kind of
not anything.
Yeah, they have some tried and true existing ways to present Star Wars to gamers that worked. They know they work. And hopefully one of the executives is like, "Hey guys, why don't we just do one of those again?"
Right.
It's let's not do this new multiplayer. Let's just they all like those. Let's do those again.
Yeah,
I'd love it, dude.
If they announce some sort of RPG, whether it's a persistent online or a coder style art, anything
Star Wars
RPG
Galaxies
Star
2?
Wars. Yeah, or I don't know if they do an MMO. I mean, it took them a long
That's
time to
dangerous.
earn back all the money from Republic.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, I think Battlefield 1, that's a hell of a way to start off with seeing that footage, especially how they've teased it. I think that's like the number one viewed trailer this year so far on YouTube, with Call of Duty actually behind that by several million. So people are super fucking hyped for Battlefield 1. They released that 10-second video trailer, I think that was Monday, where it had the guy running at the guy with the like shovel or like the... No, it was more like a blunt object. And the other guy had like the Tommy gun. So that looked in-game. They said it was in-game. It looked really fucking good. We'll see what it looks like on Sunday. Cody, you look like you want to say something.
Well, I wonder if EA, like one of the things that's really kind of hyped right now, and it just came out, and a lot of people, I'm wondering if we're going to see any big things, and we should kind of address this for each of the big conferences. I wonder if EA is going to do anything with VR.
I was about to say that this year specifically, especially at GDC, was like VR everywhere. I would expect EA gets it in there somewhere, that they announce something VR related.
I think everyone
Will.
mentions it in some way. This is the motion of this era. This is, and not suggesting that like those are bad things, but there's always some sort of theme, if you will, that runs through every
Right.
E3, whether that's this is a new hardware year, this is a new title year, this is a motion control type of year, this is a new touch control type. And I think this is definitely the VR year. If last year was the warm up or what really sparked it, with people now owning Vives and Oculus and PlayStation VR and the discussion of the new PlayStation supporting that more, and it's going to be. In fact, I hope that it's not so much that we get sick of it, because VR is not exactly the easiest thing to show off.
Show it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned with it, because I think like. It is a little bit off topic, but just while we're talking about it, like VR has made its first real consumer push, but it's not yet to the point where it's in everyone's home. Like it's still really expensive. I mean, hell, and just to be blunt, like I haven't even set up my Vive yet, because I have to screw stuff into the wall and completely redo one of my rooms. Like it's really involved right now. So I kind of wonder, like, because like you guys were saying, this is kind of a year of VR. They are making a lot of pushes. But I mean, look, for example, I don't know if you guys saw chat. Like, there's so many people
really tired of it.
Like,
yeah.
oh, VR again. Like, oh, VR, snore residents. It's not yet caught on mainstream. It's caught in kind of enthusiast and people that have kind of been interested in before. Maybe they can budget in a VR headset. But until it gets to the point where it's like, hey, get this new game. It comes with a VR headset for $20 more. Or, hey, this console comes with a VR headset. Until we get to that point, I kind of wonder if the gun's getting jumped a little bit.
I think you're going to see that at Sony, and I honestly think Microsoft is going to make a VR announcement this year. I think
so?
they're going to
or some
tie-in with Oculus.
Yeah, tie-in with Oculus is what I think they're going to do.
Yeah.
I
Also,
can't
looking forward to mainstream, like real mainstream.
That's what Sony's going to show.
Comes out that you interact with it with a VR headset, and that's it.
Sony will probably show something like that, I would think.
I can't wait till 2017, when hopefully the theme will be the return of the Power Glove. Like everyone's just like, you know what? We should totally just release Power Gloves for all our consoles.
It's so bad.
There you go. There's a random side note here. Naughty America will have a booth for VR porn on the show floor.
Yeah! See you later, bitches. I'm there.
So if you want to have your first experience
And
in
Zeke
VR,
was never heard from again.
Naughty America's got you covered, as they will be showcasing adult VR demos at E3 2016.
Zeke showed up late and he was really tired
And sticky.
and sweaty.
I know that Zeke could probably spend a while on this topic, but you haven't mentioned this at all. And like when I even saw it, I just kind of was like, "What face?" Because Titanfall 2 is reportedly, and I got to say,
wait, we didn't even. They're going to show that for sure at EA, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's going to be there for sure.
I mean, hey, surprise! The fact they're even making a sequel, because this game literally went back down as like one of the top 3 games that I lost interest in so fast.
I remember the night that we lost interest.
Kind of fun.
we had a lot of fun playing it. We dominated a lot of multiplayer that one night, and then it was like someone like the Men in Black showed up at our house and flashed us, and we just they forgot to remind everyone that Titanfall came out because no one played it the next day. Yeah, it was too close to the real aliens.
Of what happens when you try to introduce a game that has like no meta game.
Yeah,
like it's amazing. I planned a week-long Titanfall-a-thon. I was going to get every unlock. I was playing 12 hours a day every day. Midway through the second day, I had done everything there was to do. I literally proceeded, or whatever it was, midday on the second day. And I remember on stream just being like,
"There's nothing else to do.
That's it." Like this is.
It is.
And I remember enjoying it when I played. Like, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we had
really into
CTF
it. Like,
was super fun.
You like those corridors on some of the levels where you just like jump between them and you're wall running, and then you jump on a mech and you start like it was a huge amount of fun.
Yeah.
But it was like you do that 10 hours and there's.
And Chad is right. Like they did sell a shitload of this game, so it doesn't matter.
True.
Like those numbers almost guarantee a sequel because apparently that's what. Console players.
I had a
don't
dream
know
about
if I will be.
too.
I don't think I'll take that worm.
You had a dream about Titanfall 2?
I had a dream about Titanfall 2, where you start. I started in a ship on orbit, and I had to get into my Titan. I had to go down to the planet in a pod. While I was on the way down, players were shooting up at my pod, and I could maneuver around the lasers and bullets. Then I landed in this dystopian atmosphere where I could see all my other people, and we had to invade this power thing. It was amazing. Like I remember, it was like Battlefield 2142, like Titan mode, where it had like multiple stages.
Titan mode was still the best mode in Battlefield. I'm sorry,
dude, for sure.
Best.
But I remember waking up and being like, Titanfall 2 could be amazing. Like if they like took it back to the drawing board and really went creative with it, and like added in all sorts of like interactive elements and different Titans, and maybe Titans could have like different modes.
Do you remember when we went off? We did that one episode, and I forgot who it was, but it was about, I forgot what his title was on the Titanfall 2 team, but they're like. He said like they're going to introduce magic and shit into the world. You remember when we talked about that?
Yes, that was in the they released a little bit of that after the first trailer. Like, and there was like a series, I want to say a movie, not a movie, but some kind of
something.
But yeah, they were like completely changing the world. Magic was going to be there, and there's going to be more character focus and.
So maybe this might sound weird because normally I wouldn't say this, but like I felt like Titanfall really lacked a single player.
It lacked anything besides multiplayer.
It was literally smoke and mirrors, single player, disguised just as a multiplayer.
Yeah.
To your guys' point, what you're saying, like that all sounds cool. To like get me more attached to this world, some people, I don't know, maybe that would help, but I don't know.
It's the bridge between the Mech Warrior fans, the big hulking robots, and like the fast action, on foot Call of Duty first person shooter fans. Like Titanfall is that bridge. And if they can utilize it and really make it something incredible, they'd be hitting so many different demographics. Like I'm the kind of guy where it's like, oh, there's giant robots in that game. Cool. Mark me down for 30 hours.
Yeah.
It's just I'm sold when you start talking about mecha. So, and I don't know, man. I'm one of those people that, for some reason, I'm stupidly optimistic about Titanfall 2. Like, I really hope they see all the shit they did wrong in Titanfall, and they're like, you know what? We're going to do it right this time.
I hope it has, and we'll get to Ubisoft. We'll get to Ubisoft, but I hope it has the same thing that happened from Assassin's Creed 1 to Assassin's Creed 2. Like that is like the proper way to look at the first game and make a amazing fucking second game based off what failures were in the first one. And I hope they do that, but that's definitely going to be there. I've totally forgot about Titanfall. And just so everyone knows, it sold 10 million globally as of the 5th of October in 2015. So it's been a year. Granted, I don't think they've sold another million units since then, but 10 million is a pretty fucking good barometer for how well that game did. Like that,
considering, what it retailed for 60. I think? Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. It did very well for the studio's first ever take on anything. I mean, that was Respawn Entertainment's first game, so that did very well for them. But that's EA. So
CA.
That should be an amazing
Well,
start.
I mean, unless the FIFA, Madden, NHL, right?
I
are
mean, that's going to
get
be there. It has to
Right.
be.
I
I hope
mean,
Pele comes out on stage again for
Someone
30
would have got
hours.
mad if we didn't mention it.
Yeah, yeah.
That was super awkward last year.
I loved when Pele came out. I thought that was the best part of EA's conference last year because they didn't show shit. If I remember right, I think EA had my least favorite conference last year, but it was so unforgettable or so forgettable that I don't even remember what they showed. To be honest, they showed like those 5 seconds of like, this is what we think Andromeda could look like. We don't really know. It's what we've been working on.
It was like a
That was like
documentary
slap to the
piece.
face, man.
Yeah, it was a documentary, exactly. Yeah. That was really weird. Let's talk about Bethesda, who actually started this Sunday showing of conferences starting on Sunday. Last year, they announced Fallout 4. It then released the game the same year. There's been a lot of rumors this year on what they're going to show. Prey 2, which is a title that's fucking been rumored for 7 years now, or 8 years, like that.
Yep.
Random little side thing here. Did we just get spoiled on something?
Did we?
What is this new Twitch RPG emote?
Yeah, what is that?
Twitch role-playing game? What is this?
I don't know.
Look at chat. It's getting flooded.
I don't know what that is.
I-
You want to comment?
I
We-
just found out about it with you guys.
There you
So
go.
Are we gamifying Twitch?
I don't know. Maybe
Dude,
so.
This could be cool.
I actually don't know. I mean, I'm not.
This
just
is when
saying,
Wheat mutes his mic. We just see him loop back. Who the? Who
I mean, it's
We's
pretty
at home, so we
common.
can't actually do that.
It is pretty common, like when new, when new emoticons get added to the site, like they do tend to pick up rather
They
quickly.
do, yeah. What was that? The little girl with the wrench? That one like blew up on Twitch all day.
Oh,
when
yeah.
that launched. I don't know.
Every single person linking it now will go to their favorite streams and link it. Then they'll see it, and inevitably it will start going. It's like some kind of virus.
It's a virus, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
virus. So Prey 2, I don't know why anyone would. I hope that's
It
not
is
true.
so interesting because it's like like my favorite thing about Prey was that Art Bell was involved with it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Art Bell is actually he recorded a part of From Coast to Coast, his radio program, and as you're like walking through the initial destruction, it's like on, and he's
Hold on a second.
talking about.
You said Art Bell, and I thought I knew who you were talking about, and now I know who you're talking about. Are you like Art Bell, the guy who does like the AM
That talks
radio?
that talks about aliens and UFOs and
Yeah.
all sorts of weird shit.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
like
sweet.
in the beginning of that Prey, the first game, you're listening to the radio and like Art Bell is describing what has actually been happening.
Oh wow, I had
And
no idea.
I
yeah,
remember that, yeah.
Yeah. Other than
Um,
that, I was like, not the game didn't do it for me.
A while back, the concept documents leaked on a torrent site, and one of the high level notes on that was that it is a spiritual successor to System Shock 2. That was one of the bullet points in there. So maybe that's their selling point. A lot of people are saying it's not even going to have the Prey name anymore, and that it's going to be running on
it's gonna be what
CryEngine. It's a spiritual successor to System Shock 3. Sorry, System Shock 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they'll just say fuck the Prey IP and launch it with a new name.
Wait. A spiritual successor to System Shock 2?
System Shock 3. Sorry, I said that incorrectly the first time.
3's not out.
Oh, then maybe this is a typo. Maybe it's 2.
But wait, hold on. I thought there was a System Shock 3 coming out.
Is it? I don't know. I'm just reading what the documents say. Again, they're
Okay.
leaked documents. It's not official.
Yeah. No, I think there's a System Shock 3 in development, and then there's a remastered version coming out before that of 2.
I feel like I heard that as well.
I think
Yeah.
I've heard that as well. Yeah. But we'll see.
But all I know is dude, System Shock 2 is amazing, and everyone should want to be a successor of it. So
Exactly.
we're good there.
There's some other stuff. Wolfenstein 2 might show up. Anya's voice actor said she was going to be working on and recording a sequel to a video game she already did voice acting for. I think there were some other rumors that came out last week that kind of tied all these games together. And also The Evil Within showed up as having a sequel as well. So we might see those two being shown.
I like that game, man.
You like The Evil Within?
It got a lot of hate, but I liked Evil Within.
I liked The Evil Within until towards the end. The fight and the combat in the game just lost me. I was so frustrated in some of those scenes because I didn't have enough like stuff, I guess, to heal myself. I think was the issue. Maybe it was just ammo in general, to where I was just meleeing people constantly, and that game pissed me off real bad. But Wolfenstein 2, I'll fucking play Wolfenstein 2. Like,
Yeah.
The Wolfenstein reboots, one of the better reboots in recent history. Like, they've been incredible. They've been really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
I mean, especially off of, coming off the success that is Doom this year. Like, keep making single player FPS games, because they've got it down to where they can really pump those out and do amazing things with them.
And they're all decent to great.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, id started adding Quake to the list of franchises they work on. I don't know if that's indicative of them announcing a new Quake, or if they just finally decided, like, oh yeah, we made this, we should probably put that on there. But that's kind of where people are basing this off of, as well as Battle Cry, which is a new studio that once had its own game. It seems to work on other projects these games. They assisted with Doom's multiplayer, and they're working on a multiplayer for another FPS. It's possible that this multiplayer for Wolfenstein 2, given how Bethesda was for Doom's multiplayer, maybe the multiplayer only Quake game. But no one knows what they're working on, so they've got something.
Me and Wheat were talking a little before the show about this. It would be really strange if they were to release a new Quake at this point. Like, not only did they just come out with Doom, but I feel like, and Wheat made this really good point. Like, Quake has never really been about single player, and there's a lot of multiplayer out there now, and nothing they could really introduce would be too really new. And more importantly, if they came out with Quake right now, it kind of feel like they were assembly lining old games.
A little bit.
Like, here's Doom and here's Quake, and like, I don't. It would be.
I mean, unless they took that totally weird, crazy path and they did just go, we are making the multiplayer battle arena Quake, right? And not, we're going to try to put this on Mars and make you, I don't know, but that's risky. That's really risky.
Yeah.
Like, multiplayer games are popular, but I think with that title, they're trying to make something that has years of life. And if that's even possible, I don't know.
We'll
hard.
see.
Agreed.
I mean, did we know that Doom was getting a reboot last year when they started that conference? I don't think that was known, right? I think that came out
was
of
a
nowhere.
surprise, if I
that's one
recall.
that's one of the ones that didn't get leaked.
I think it was one of the reasons why that show was just sort of like jaw drop.
I think this year Bethesda is going to have a little bit of a harder time, especially last year, because they already showed Dishonored 2. And this year they showed the trailer introducing the female character last year, and I think they have to show gameplay of that this year, because it comes out, if not end of 2016, comes out Q1 or Q2 of 2017. I forget the release date on that. But yeah, Dishonored 2 will definitely be shown there. I don't know. What if they announce a new Elder Scrolls?
Oh, dude, I
It would
see
be
a grown
amazing.
man cry like a baby.
I mean, last year was Fallout. They go Fallout, Scrolls, Fallout. That's
This ties into what we were also talking about, whereas like Bethesda has one of the hardest jobs this year. They destroyed it last year with Fallout 4.
They took it to a level we didn't know
Fallout
existed.
Shelter,
Yeah.
they did announce Doom
release
in
date.
the other way, but yeah.
To the last point, to Dishonored 2, they do have a release date.
Oh, I know. I just forgot what it was.
It's not this year, is it?
Yeah, you're right. They did obviously trailer before, but then
11.
they revealed so much. We watched it. We saw the weapon customization.
Yeah.
That was the best conference, hands down. A lot of it was because it kind of slapped us in the face. Had no idea it was coming. So
Right.
they have the hardest job. If they don't do something like Elder Scrolls 6, what else
That's
on this
exactly what
list
I'm
is
saying.
actually going to blow your mind?
That not only that, dude, like I am getting really concerned that they're going to try to like ride the hype of last year
Fallout?
with their current projects.
It's not
No,
gonna
just
work.
the hype in general. Because like I can't imagine them announcing now they could. Here's one rumor, big rumor. They jacked up the price of the season pass of Fallout 4. They've been very quiet about their reasoning. There's been
That's
a few
true.
drops about we're expanding the plans of our DLC, but they haven't really been anything official since Far Harbor, which is the last DLC for now. So they may be planning some big Fallout 4 continuation announcement, like, hey, we're coming out with like a bunch more DLCs, and they're all going to be as big as Far Harbor. Which, by the way, Far Harbor was pretty good for those. It was decent. It was back to like the Fallout 3 Fallout New Vegas style of DLCs, of huge new areas, tons of new weapons, new mechanics. Like it was good.
Yeah.
For Fallout fans, I should say. Unfortunately, Fallout 4 alienated most Fallout fans, but that's okay. But it would be like, I'm wondering if they're going to write that. But I'm also extremely concerned we're going to be like Elder Scrolls Online expansion.
Man,
new
that
Elder
was-
Scrolls Legends card game.
They got the card game too.
Skyrim
That was
remastered for consoles.
that was
And
such a
thanks for
buzzkill.
coming out.
It was such a buzzkill last year when they showed that fucking expansion. I remember we were doing drop frames and like we had just wrapped up with Fallout and like Dan's Gaming was on there. He was fucking losing his mind. We had Tally, and then they showed the Elder Scrolls Online expansion that I think came out like a month after that or something, or maybe a little bit longer. And Tally was like, "Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited for this." And that was it. And then we moved on. Like there was just nothing. It was such a low point in that conference. But they have to give some sort of lip service to that and or the card game because they're still pushing it daily on. I still see Bethesda retweet constantly
Yeah.
about that card game.
That's
and I think that's going to show
concern.
up.
My concern is Bethesda's conference is going to be too high of a proportion of pushing their current stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's be blunt. Like their current things outside of their Fallout 4 DLC, like a card game remastering, like come on,
Yeah.
like Elder Scrolls Online, like come
Yeah.
on, guys. And it's just it's. I'm really hoping they don't try to ride their hype last year to push these things, like try to elevate them up into mainstream where they aren't for many good reasons. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm really hoping that they're just going to blow us all away.
I
We're all
hope
gonna
they
be-
drop.
Yeah.
If they,
like A-bombs everywhere, just like, oh, what is going on? Like this is too awesome.
I mean,
like,
can you
that's what I'm
imagine?
hoping.
Can you imagine the internet if they drop something in the way of a new Elder Scrolls? Like that would actually be bigger than Fallout last year because we knew about Fallout.
They blocked a lot of cool shit with Fallout 4 last year. They
Yeah.
really did. Think about stuff that like would have been cool if that wouldn't have been announced and come with so much information that just simply were like, yeah, that's awesome, but dude,
Fallout, yeah.
right? Like, and we only have to wait X amount of months, and like that was a perfect tasting soup. Now
And the
question
other
is-
thing too is that Skyrim. Maybe it's just because I actually enjoy Skyrim compared to Fallout, where I've just never been a huge fan of it. But I think Skyrim has done so much in the past 4 years that it might actually be bigger than Fallout in terms of just
Skyrim remaster.
no, just Skyrim in general. The game itself, like, it is a bigger, far-reaching, more further-reaching game than Fallout. Maybe I'm wrong because I actually enjoy that one, but it is
I
a
would say-
massive
I would
game.
say it's definitely comparable.
Yeah, it's definitely comparable. There's no doubt about that.
They both come from prestigious lines, and they're both they're massive games. But Skyrim appeals to a completely different audience,
You're not wrong.
so it's kind of hard to judge it to. But I would say like Skyrim and Fallout are very comparable in the scope of like fandom, and like just judging by like the mods that come out for those games.
Right. I mean, how many units did Skyrim even? It's astronomical. I think Skyrim, 20 units sold. But I think the best way to say it is that if they do announce that, it's a completely different set of fans that would share the exact same fandom that people shared for Fallout last year. I think you said that perfectly, Zeke, where no one can actually argue that. That's a huge Fallout fanboy like Co. So, so we'll just leave that as it
Just
is.
wearing the shirt, just repping his brand.
There is one last thing about Bethesda, JP, and that is this. I don't even remember where I dug this up, but apparently at the 2016 Dice Summit, Todd Howard did say something to the effect of, quote, "We've got 3 longer term projects that are all
Right.
different from anything we've ever done. They're big and crazy."
I remember that.
A
But
card game, a remastering, and
I mean,
an MMO.
right? Like sometimes how we interpret that and how he interprets that big and crazy. It's like, yeah, we've turned Fallout Shelter into I don't know, like maybe that's big and
Oh
crazy.
God, that's right. They announced Fallout
It'll
Shelter
be-
last year. I forgot about that.
Right. So I was actually thinking, drop the Elder Scroll and then drop Skyrim Shelter or something to that effect.
Well,
you could do something that would work in that regard.
The only
Not
way that they could
same
announce a Skyrim remastered and not piss off everyone is if they announce. So Skyrim sold. I think this article's saying in January 27th that it had sold 20 million copies in 2014. So that's 2 years ago that it had sold 20 million copies. Who knows what that is now after all the Steam sales and shit. But
So
How about a game? How about Elder Scrolls? How about Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim
all together,
all in one game?
they could do it. They definitely could.
here you go.
All in one game, and you can take one character through all 3 stories.
Let me
Oh,
go ahead
that
and just
would be-
spoil the whole Bethesda conference for you. They've already done fantasy. They've already done post-apocalyptic future. Bethesda's going to announce their brand new IP to compete with Cyberpunk 2077.
They could do it.
We've never seen a futuristic cybernetic experience from Bethesda. It's always futuristic and post-apocalyptic or fantasy.
Yeah.
We've never seen them take like a successful futuristic culture look, or we haven't really seen much from like any type of space stuff from Bethesda.
Space
Either
would be
of
pretty
those.
cool.
Like imagine if they came out with like some kind of new freelancer type of game.
Yeah. Honestly, I think
That'd
in
be
I gotta
terms
say,
of,
like all that.
right now, CD Projekt Red is sitting on a massive gold mine with Cyberpunk. There's
'Cause they're the
no
only
other
people doing
companies
it,
that
yeah.
are even risking games.
And you know
that
what?
soon.
They're going to start the trend. I
Probably.
guarantee it, dude. I
well,
guarantee.
the other thing too that I'm so grateful for Witcher 3 being what it is that now Bethesda can't do what they did with Fallout 4 because they're going to get so much shit for it. Because the immediate thing is Witcher 3 did it. Like Witcher 3 did it a billion times. Why can't you just do what Witcher 3 did? So they have to do. They actually have something to compete against, rather than just like seeing exactly what happened with Fallout 4 with another game. If that happens, that's
and CD
devastating.
Projekt Red took little engines and put them on that bar and just boosted it like
Right,
a
right.
good 100% higher than it had been.
Exactly.
Especially like, and the beautiful part is like with Blood and Wine, as we were talking about at the beginning, like Blood and Wine is all the best stuff in Witcher 3 in an expansion. So it's like the bar right now is higher than it's ever been,
Which is great.
Beautiful for games like this.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, man,
So we'll
gets
see.
exciting.
I
Let us see
think
Bethesda throw their hat in that ring.
I think of the unknowns. I'm pretty excited for Bethesda's because, like, again, if we get a new Elder Scrolls, if we get a new IP with that Fallout style of game in it, like, they could make some big waves, especially to start out the week. But that's all Sunday. So EA starts at 4:00 Eastern, and then Bethesda is late at 10:00 Eastern. And I think that's going to be an hour and a half or 2 hours or something like that. So that should be a good conference. And then bright and early on Tuesday morning, as usual, we've got Microsoft's conference starting off on Monday morning, which is going to be a very interesting conference for a lot of fucking reasons. One of them being that you're probably going to see some new hardware. And you're probably going to see a new...
Xbox, right?
Either you're either going to see a slimmer Xbox or a faster Xbox to compete with Neo, which is Sony's new
That's
Right.
what I'm excited about.
4.5.
I want to see
Right.
consoles breaking to 60. Like that's
Yeah.
that's
So,
a dream of mine. I
there's-
want to see 30 go the way of the dinosaur.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it like segregates the sort of platform already.
It does weird
right?
fucking things.
It does really weird fucking things, and we'll talk more about that during the PlayStation stuff. But there's a couple things. 4K seems like it's a very important for the future, so at least it's good to know they're thinking about it. I
Yep.
guarantee you that a tie-in to this hardware is probably going to be that Oculus thing we talked about. It's sort of been rumored that it was
It
going to
makes
make
sense.
sense that they were going to just not build their own, but instead maybe create a partnership, and that Oculus would be the one that would make the most sense.
Yeah,
So
they make a
it
lot of
will-
sense.
like the new PlayStation 4.5, whatever, it's probably likely that you would need this in order to support any VR that Microsoft might announce as well.
Yep. The other thing too is that, and I think this could be the biggest thing to come out of Microsoft's conference, is that a lot of people are saying that Forza 2 is on the PC now, or some sort of Forza.
You think that's the biggest thing
No,
that's going
no,
to
no,
come out?
no,
of
no, 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 no. I'm not done. Forza 2 is
Oh.
on some sort, whatever Forza is, the IP's on PC. You can play right now. It's free. They brought over the Forge from Halo. You can actually play that on Windows 10 right now. What if they announce Halo 5 or Halo Master Chief Collection for the PC? I think that's the biggest thing they could
Are
bring.
you serious? So, have you not heard anything about Scorpio?
I have. That's the new Xbox shit, right?
Right. No. So there's two things. There's the slim Xbox, and then there's Scorpio,
Right.
which is possibly information on the next Xbox that is rumored to be going completely to a PC sort of focused architecture where you could replace this or you could replace that or you could add this to it. And that, to me, if they actually,
I mean, that's pretty. That's
We were talking about that
industry-breaking.
last episode.
Yeah,
Wasn't it? Wait, that's the bad guy from The Simpsons, right?
exactly.
You find your hammock over there in Hammock Village, Hammock Land. It's on Hammock Row.
I didn't know that it was going to be not form factor, but whatever that term is where you can plug and play.
Modular.
Yeah, modular. I did not hear that rumor that it's going to be modular. But for me,
That's big, man. I feel like that's the next big step for consoles.
Yeah.
Is getting modular mainstream.
I mean,
Like
that would be a huge announcement for sure, especially if you could take PC components and plug them into that. Like, if you could go fucking buy like a 1080 somehow and plug it into a console and have it work, I have no idea how they could do that.
I'm
There's
going
probably
to
no
be
way.
honest with you, man. Any exposed PCB, I think, is out of the question.
You think? Just because
I think modular is going to be fully contained plastic components
true.
that you slide in and out with foolproof connectors. Like I think
I'd
that's
have to
the-
agree with you if they're going to go that way, because I don't believe that Microsoft is building an architecture for that hardcore audience. I think they're building it for the family who want, right? Like, they've been going after this whole like universal Windows experience, right? Yet fucking every computer in the world has just been upgraded with Windows 10. It seems like they're definitely going to be talking about whatever their new stuff is and this full integration that now is going to be occurring. And like, it's just a natural progression for Microsoft.
and you want that kind of
true.
thing where a 12-year-old could rip open his presents on Christmas morning. Hey, great, I wanted this, and while his console's on, pull out the graphic card. It'll automatically shut down. He could jam in the new. As simple and foolproof as possible. That connection with modular is what's completely missing right now.
That would
It's
be
just
pretty
not
industry breaking. I would agree with that. I
mean,
think
it's
for
so
my own,
funny
base
because
consoles-
it's not, because it's just a freaking
it's just a fucking PC at that point.
Yeah,
right?
it's just a PC. Absolutely.
because they're making it accessible to, and actually, who knows? Like, maybe the PC world will learn something from that.
Well, it's like people.
Building a PC ain't easy.
Well, no, it's like people who use Mac rather than PCs. I mean, do you want something that you can modulate, like you can change easily and stuff like that, or do you want something simple and easy to use for the masses, like a Mac?
Of course we do, but the thing we're not talking about, and this is of course going to be a point of discussion of the PlayStation. The thing we're not talking about is that, like, suddenly I'm a game developer, and there are 5 different Xbox 2 cards that I could have in my thing, and I have to somehow work around all of that. And that's the problem.
That's what we were talking about last year.
I
or
gotta
last
be
year.
honest though.
right?
Wheat, have you seen Neo?
The PS 4.5 shit.
PS4 demo, Neo. I'm pretty sure that's where games are heading. When you start up this game, which was a PlayStation 4 demo, one of the first things you select is, do you want movie mode or do you want action mode? And that is better with lower FPS or less graphics with higher FPS. I seriously think that's going to be one of the first games that starts doing that. And I think especially with the introductions of these 0.5 consoles, we're going to start seeing that all the time. I think
Not
that's
Neo, but the
first game of that kind.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
you're talking about
the
Neo, the
problem
game.
is, and the only problem with that is that still as a developer, I have to develop based off of my bottom and not my ceiling.
Correct.
I can't
Yes.
develop for the highest ceiling that I can go for. I have to develop for that bottom. And I think that still is something that is somewhat detrimental. I mean, PC makers had a hell of a time with that, or PC developers had a hell of a time with that growing up. Now
Yeah.
things are getting a little bit better, I think, like, the difference in what you can push. But that, to introduce that in the console world, where this is supposed to be the easy place where me as a developer, I'm like, I'm developing for this hardware, and this is exactly what I can shoot for, and I can push the fuck out of it. It really changes that whole dynamic when suddenly, like, oh man,
Yeah.
we think it's about
So you're
60
saying-
FPS and stuff now, but like, who knows what could happen?
So you're saying
gonna be
they're,
everybody has to
they're
pay.
all about the base.
I have to, right?
trouble.
Because Zeke, if you are like, no, screw you.
I'm all about the base. No
You're,
trouble.
you're never going to have that top. You have tier 4, and tier 1 is the best. They have to develop for you, because if you don't have that good gaming experience on tier 4, then it doesn't matter.
But it's interesting, because that's how PC gaming has been forever. is you have to develop for the
Right.
people that you can run. So it's like
Exactly.
and what's even funnier though is a lot of times these console developers are not necessarily developing on consoles themselves. They're on their SDKs on their computers,
Right.
and they use emulators or translators to get over to their consoles.
Right.
So it's like they've already been like working in these restrictions the whole time. So
Yeah.
granted, there's no question it's going to take a complete realignment of console development, but I think that the foundational elements of that already exist in PC development. So it would be a lateral transition instead of just like
Let's
having
hope that's
all
the
these
case.
Yeah, let's hope.
Because you still
mechanism.
have to have you still have to have adoption by the industry, right? Because if people aren't interested in doing that and they still want to just buy their one box, then fuck, I have to now put $3 million into this development cycle because I have to make sure that it matches all this. Like that also is it. I feel like it does. This is great for the consumer, but it does not mitigate any risk for developers and publishers at
Yeah.
all. So
True,
it'll
true.
be interesting. Hey, maybe that's what we need to get everyone to just be like, fuck it, let's just go PC, everything. Just,
Look,
just-
honestly,
why
a shift like that for Xbox and fucking PS4 devs, Sony devs, like, if it goes bad, the PC is going to be there and be like, hi, hello, I'm still here. You forgot
Yeah.
about us for
Yeah.
some reason, which would be
That's
interesting.
like the mantra of the PC. We're still here.
yeah, exactly.
Still here.
Exactly.
Anytime you get fed up with that shit, we're still here.
100%. The other games that are going to be there because they're supposed to come out this year is Gears of War 4. We saw that last year. That's going to be shown. I don't know. Like they've been running that beta, the multiplayer beta this year. I don't know if I care about that
Very
game.
lukewarm.
Yeah,
lukewarm for sure.
I think I was also
A lot of this, I'm really
actually pretty
lukewarm on.
down on how bad it looked when I saw it. Maybe the multiplayer I would hope looks worse than the single player, where they could probably bump up the graphic fidelity because they're not having to worry about so many people, et cetera, et cetera. But like, that game just looked not that good. But I hope it shows well. We'll see. They've also got the new Halo Wars, which was kind of a big surprise last year. If that's the only thing they show for Halo, I think that's going to be a rough year for Xbox One. Like, they really need a big game to come out and kind of just like take over Xbox One's year.
They
Because
do.
there's nothing. There's
What am I
there's
waiting
no
for?
reason to buy an Xbox right now.
Yeah,
At all.
what am I waiting for? Well, I don't know, mate. So, what about Crackdown 3?
Is that maybe because they showed that last year? Definitely gonna have some more on it this year.
2014. I don't think they even showed it last year.
I thought they had a trailer last year.
Maybe there's another trailer and they only showed the logo the first time, but it was first shown at 2014.
Okay, I think you're right. Actually, yeah.
Crackdown 1 was amazing. It always, when Crackdown 2 came out, it didn't quite hit the mark. Thinking about Crackdown 3 and like a new upgraded engine and some of the things you were doing, and even that trailer was awesome. I think they tumbled over a building and then you like slid down it and like that looks like Crackdown. It can be a really good franchise. It's not one that I played for the story. It's one I played for the ability to like jump 1,000 feet in the air and then topple buildings over. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I
It's a
don't.
great fence system too, man. Shooting out tires on cars and Crackdown was like one of the funnest things.
I love the powers, man. Towards Endgame,
Yeah.
that was crazy
It
fun.
was awesome.
Just
I kind
running
of-
around at top speed and jumping like halfway across the map off buildings.
I enjoyed Crackdown, but I kind of felt like it was just a test for the console more than an actual
totally
game.
was.
It felt like a sandbox.
Yeah,
just
it felt like a
big
sandbox with
of
really
collect
nothing else
this
in it.
and kill that.
Yeah.
But it was awesome, and it like
I mean,
and I'm
it was
like, I
fun.
don't understand. I played the shit out of that game.
Yeah. The other thing,
That was stupid times.
I don't know if it was last year, but it might have been the year before, is Recore.
Recore.
The trailer was shown,
Recore?
and that's it. Yeah, Recore there's a big
like the-
developer tied to that. And I got to think. of what it is.
RECORE.
Yeah, it was like
yeah.
it was a game that was like she had the cores, and then
She
she
could
was
put 'em into
building
robots.
her allies, and she would put the core into a robot or like a different ally, and then maybe that's what you would use to get through the level, and then she would retrieve
Yeah.
the core.
Oh, that's what it
Oh,
was.
I
It was
know.
former
Element to
Metroid
it.
Prime makers, Armature
Yeah.
Studio and Mega Man creator, the Inafune. So that's where that comes from. We'll probably, hopefully, see something on that this year.
And then scale
The
bound.
last
which is
update on the Recore website was July 30th, 2015.
Wow.
Yeah. They've really gone dark. Maybe the project got canceled. We don't really know.
They've gone super dark.
Um,
Especially because they were updating every few days before then.
yeah. What was that you said, Wheat?
I was just gonna say. I mean, the other title that we saw, but we just kind of saw like in a pretty presentation way, was Scalebound.
Oh yeah, that doesn't come out till next year. I remember, but we
Yeah.
saw that I don't actually no. There was some gameplay. Now that I remember, a little bit.
That was one of the few that had in game.
Yeah, and I think it looked kind of framey too. So a lot of people are excited for that. But that was one of the games I was kind of like, that's platinum, right? That's a platinum game.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Do you guys think we're gonna see anything else on HoloLens shit? You think
I'd be
show that
surprised
again?
if we didn't.
Maybe a consumer HoloLens solution rather than what they showed last year.
Last year, they showed us some really cool stuff on what the HoloLens can do. I was damn impressed with that Minecraft demo. Like that. If they
it was
just
super
let
cool.
it drop this year, if they don't show anything comparable or to one up it, I would be very surprised. That would be a very poor marketing technique to get people hyped up about something that's not released and then just let it die the next year. You know, like that'd be very strange for them to do. That feels like someone
I
like that
totally
was a waste of
agree.
money over there. You
I
know?
totally agree. They do not want VR to have a majority of voice at E3, and this is one of their few chances because everyone else will be talking about VR.
Right.
So if they can, because a lot of people talked about that HoloLens demo for Microsoft. It was definitely one of the coolest things we saw out of them. So seeing something similar, I definitely.
What about, do you think that, not that it's going to get shown, do you think that the word connect is said once throughout this entire press conference?
I was also thinking that that if it is not said, that it is officially
It's officially dead. Yeah, it has to be official. They didn't mention it once last year, did they?
In fact, there was talk about the Xbox actually being lowered in price because they took out the Kinect port and they took out like another port that they wouldn't need as a result.
For the Slim?
Uh-huh.
Oh. I could see that. I could see that.
Which at that point that means done.
Yeah.
Dunzo.
I could see that.
No Kinect Sports Friends Volume 2 for you, Zeke. Not happening.
I'm sad about that. I'm really
Sorry,
sad,
bro.
Yeah.
I lost some weight doing that. It was a good workout. Did some sports friends. I was getting pretty good at shooting the bow and arrow and stuff.
Yeah.
Cruel Destiny said Connect. What is? No, I'm sorry, that wasn't the wrong one. It is Kazan who said I haven't heard Connect in 2016 until now. So there you go. I mean, it is dead. We're grave diggers, boys. Like I think it is already done.
I'd be amazingly surprised if they devote any second of that conference to something Connect based. I think they're just going to let it die because there was just such a hard push back against that when it launched and everything post-launch, and they just never. It was one of those things of that generation where it just never had the software to like make it work, to make it worthwhile. It just like I think Dance Central was probably the best use of Connect.
It was a great idea with a very unfortunate implementation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll see. I also hope that we're almost done with Microsoft. I hope they do some sort, like, how much do you think they will devote to the PC side of things? Because Phil has said like they're focusing pretty hard on, Windows 10 and making the Xbox platform not just the
Universal,
Xbox. Yeah,
right.
universal. So like, do you think they devote any to like the Windows 10 experience? Do you think that all they say is like coming to Xbox One and Windows 10? Is that the big push that they announce a bunch of games for Xbox 10 or what?
Hey, that new Fable game. Oh, wait.
Yeah, that got canceled. Yeah, that's right.
I feel like Microsoft's history has already dictated this. Look at their press conference from 2 years ago where they were like television, right? Like they always have some aspect that is like, this is how we're trying to turn our products into a living room, a home experience. It's not just about the console. And in some areas, I think they've done actually quite well with that. So, Windows 10's a big push for them. Xbox, they've got a lot more synergy between those two things. Whatever could potentially be coming out with their new thing, like absolutely, it is going to be a part of it. I guarantee you. They obviously, they're the ones that are closest to that industry too, right? If they're not looking into the world of what's happening in PC gaming, then we're all doomed.
Yeah. That's
Hopefully
true.
they'll do a little PR cleanup with Windows 10. I don't think I've never seen so many people so angry about having an update forced on their system. Like, and all of the
God.
annoying pop-ups. It's become a joke. Like Windows 10 and upgrading to Windows 10 has become a cultural joke.
Yeah.
Here's my one
They
hope.
have some PR cleanup to do about that. If they're serious about it.
My dream would be if they go to show a trailer and the PC that the trailer is playing on is auto updating to Windows 10. If that happened, happened, I would quit. I would go live on a fucking island because life would not get better than that moment. And I would meditate and contemplate on it for the rest of my years.
The only thing
That
better
would be
would have
awesome.
without him even being there for any announcement prior to that, Bill Gates just walks out on stage and goes, "Guys, we're sorry.
Yeah,
Never again.
that's true.
We know and we're sorry."
Yeah, that'd be
I like
great.
to see some sort of South Park, like, all right, one person in the audience can kick me in the balls. One
Oh, God.
you, sir, come here. One time, right now.
That'd be great. That'd be
The
great.
automatic updates. I'm sorry, okay?
That'd be
Oh, that
great.
was good. That was good. That was
The worst part about all that is they put in Windows 10, they make an obnoxiously persistent auto upgrade thing. They eventually force people to upgrade to it, and then they have the gall to publicly brag about how many people are using it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
what planet do you guys live on? This is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like
Well, it's like a Brave New World, like bragging how many people take Soma.
right? Exactly. That's
You're
exactly
forced
right.
to take this. Now everybody's taking it. Look how popular we are.
That's true. That's true. So that's Microsoft.
Wait,
We'll see.
real
see,
quick on
uh,
Microsoft.
Oh,
They did
Sea of
say
Thieves.
Dead
That's
Rising
right.
4.
Yeah.
What was that?
They did say Dead Rising 4.
Oh, there have been rumors of that. Yeah.
Rumors.
Rumor is that Dead Rising 4 will show up from Capcom.
I saw someone else in chat mention, but Sea of Thieves, which we didn't see much on, but hopefully we see more on.
That was a big announcement last year. That's Rare's
Yeah.
new game, right?
one of them, right?
Yeah.
And
so-
then there were the Battletoad rumors from the Rare president wearing the Battletoad shirt, but
I
don't
feel
know
like
if
that's been
like
year
Game
after
Boy
year
Sparks
after
or-
year, and then finally they put Battletoads and Killer Instinct, and I hope, like, I don't know if I want to play a Battletoads game in 2016.
I want to play an awesome Battletoads game.
I was
But, like,
surprised.
what is
Think
it-
about awesome reboots though? Like how under the radar was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game?
Yeah, I saw it from
Like
Platinum.
I think
yeah.
I saw like 3 major casters play it. They all were very like meh
Mediocre,
about
yeah.
it. Like it was just, and that was essentially a reboot, kind of
yeah,
like the old
a little
NT.
bit.
So I don't
Yeah,
know, man.
maybe it
But
will.
I'm with Wheat though. If they made like a really good Battletoad remake, not one of these like corny, let's try to make it do everything and it's just dumb, but like an act. Like think if they made like a totally 3D side scroller.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that would be
Something cool like
just
that.
insanely cool.
We'll see. I don't know if they'll show any Sea of Thieves stuff. That game was shown last year. I don't know if they've had that much development time on it to show like a actual gameplay.
That was the pirate MMO, right?
That was the pirate one that looked really like what they said about it seemed really cool, but we didn't actually see any of that in effect. It was more just like kind of a CG, not a CG, but more like a walkthrough trailer type thing.
Yeah.
It was a little bit bare bones, but we'll see. I think of all the ones that maybe I'm just not that excited because Xbox One just has been so bad in the past year. Like they haven't really done that much. There's not really been any big splashes. Maybe
My Tomb Raider box.
do what?
Well,
My Tomb Raider box. That's the
Oh,
only game I've ever
yeah.
played on my Xbox One.
That's
is
true.
The Tomb Raider console.
That's right. Rise of the Tomb Raider came out first on
Well,
Xbox One.
I mean, besides Uncharted 4, like the only game like before Uncharted 4, like I played
Everything
Yeah.
on PC.
Destiny. That was it. That was-
Bloodborne.
Yeah, Bloodborne. That's true.
I
And
played
the-
Destiny last though, and still that was not that much after Bloodborne.
yeah.
But
Well,
if it's a good MMO like this, I'm just saying, if it's a good MMO like Destiny, like I might crack open my brand new Xbox, which I've never opened. I've had that thing for a year because I got it from the St. Jude thing last year.
Oh, that's right. I
I've
remember
had
that.
it for a year, and I still have not cracked it open because
Did that come with a Connect? Is it the Connect version or no?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
If it was a year ago, I think they had already stopped selling Connects with it most of the time. So, in terms of progression of the conferences, the next one is the PC Gaming Show. And last year, that was the first time they'd ever done that. I think it was heavily sponsored by AMD. I have no idea what could be shown there. And last year's was kind of a little bit on the boring side. Like, they didn't have that many big things. What's up?
Oh, we didn't already talk about Sony yet, did we?
Nope, so was the last one. So was the last one. I don't know what could be shown at the, like, I'm trying to think in terms of.
I mean, just really quickly rattling off companies attending: AMD, Bohemia, Borealis, Boss Key, Digital Extremes, Finji, Microsoft, New World, Nova Quark, Oculus, Other Ocean Interactive, Paradox Interactive, Entertainment, and Sega, Square Enix, Studio Wildcard, Telltale.
Square Enix, okay.
Telltale, excuse me.
Square Enix will probably show
and Tripwire.
Final Fantasy stuff.
Deus Ex, I think, is what will be shown by Square Enix. But
Yeah,
maybe they'll
yeah.
show some. What if they go there and announce Final Fantasy 15 on PC? I'd fucking be into that.
Now, interestingly enough, I don't know how much Deus Ex stuff we're going to hear at E3 because not only has it been fully announced, but just today they did a big 17 straight minute of gameplay Deus Ex-a-thon kind of deal where they live streamed it. So they may be trying to kind of get Deus Ex done before so they can focus
They
on
might not.
It's already like all the info's out there. We already
Yeah.
know the date. It's the end of the year. So I wouldn't be surprised. Now, maybe some new Deus Ex stuff would be cool. But
Star Citizen is going to be there
Star
again.
Citizen,
They
okay.
might show something
For
else.
Deus Ex, they might have not been able to fit it into, like Square Enix has its own conference, but it's not as big as a Xbox or a PlayStation conference.
Right.
They might have not been able to put it onto those two conferences, so that's why they announced all this stuff.
I hope
already.
we hear some more stuff about the 7 remake.
Oh, Final
Knowing-
Fantasy? Maybe.
Knowing knowing what they were shooting for last year and the fact that they filled a hole that wasn't being filled is pretty cool. And obviously, like, they sort of have to figure it
For
out.
the PC gaming conference, you mean?
Yeah. So, like, I have to say, I am excited to see what they have in store. What they learned from their first show, who they were able to sort of get on board after a proof in concept. Like last year, it was standalone on a Tuesday night, and it pulled in 250,000 viewers. So, when EA dropped to Sunday, and they were like, anyone else taking that spot, like, it suddenly does like shine this new light that wasn't once available at E3 unless you had a lot of money or you were in a partnership with one of those other companies. So I kind of hope there is something surprising there as well. I think it'd be really great.
I'm trying to think if there was anything like huge last year that they showed. I think a lot of people were testing the waters and showing stuff that had already been shown elsewhere at something like the PC gaming conference, but is AMD sponsoring it again this year? 'Cause last year they were the big sponsors for that. So
I
much so
believe
that
is correct.
they
Yeah.
brought like AMD hardware out and I think gave it away on stage, which was kind of.
They got their brand new value cards coming out. It'd be
Right.
interesting if they also announced like an enthusiast option at E3.
That's true. I mean, we
Cover
could
the
see
Yeah,
some
did
hardware.
they announce those
1080.
new cards? They announced new AMD stuff last year during the show.
Maybe they did. I forget. Again, that was one of those conferences where it was the end of Tuesday. It was the final thing we covered, and I was really tired. I think everyone else was really exhausted of covering that shit. So it kind of left a lot of people lackluster. So I'm hoping that this year
they've got a great time slot, like by
3 p.m.
comparison. So I hope it's great. And day 9 is
Sean's
is
going to be hosting. Cool.
He is, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, he hosted it last year, and I think he was probably the best part of it. So we'll see what they will out for him to show. My favorite conference is right after that, an hour after that. Is that conference only supposed to be an hour? Do you know?
Is it?
Because the PC gaming starts at 3 p.m. and then Ubisoft starts at 4 p.m.
No, PC Gamer starts like at 11:30 PST, I think.
Really? Okay. Well, then I have the wrong times for that. But yeah.
Let me.
So maybe it goes. I can just go to the blog and look at there. Regardless, Ubisoft is coming with a lot of games. They've actually already shown all of them that they're going to be showing for the most part. If these are all here, Watch Dogs 2 that came out today.
Watch your tongue.
What?
Beyond Good and Evil 2? Beyond Good and Evil 2? Is that coming?
I mean, let's just get it out of the
Let's
way
just
right
get out of the
now.
way. We'll just talk about
Just
that
get
now.
out of the way right now. I mean, I'm not shy to say that I think Ubisoft has a personal vendetta against me, and they have told me the last few years by like almost making it seem like they were going to announce Beyond Good and Evil 2 and then not announcing it. And listen, man, your time's fucking up, man. This is the year, 2016, the return of Jade and Pej, and like it needs to happen now. And don't Shenmue 3 me. Don't fucking Shenmue 3 me. Because I will not. That's not okay. You know everyone wants this game. And so they say
2016 is the year, Wheat. It's the year.
It's got to be the year. Yeah, Watch Dogs 2. Okay, For Honor. I'm definitely excited to see more about that game. I think it's going to be awesome on Twitch.
From what I played, when I played For Honor at PAX, I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And they only had
super fun.
I think you could only play as the samurai at PAX. I think that was it. They had talked about the Vikings and the I don't know what the Knights, I guess is what they're called. I don't know the actual name.
As big as a Chivalry fan as I am, man, dude, I'm sad I never got a chance to play it. I still haven't played it.
It's pretty fun. And
I've heard nothing but good things.
They've been working on it for a year, so I hope that comes through. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands was something they showed last year. Granted, that was only a trailer.
I thought that was also Beyond Good and Evil 2 before it.
When it started out, yeah.
Just like Siege.
Yeah.
So like maybe it's actually Tom Clancy who is the proprietor of the estate who doesn't like me.
I heard a rumor that Ghost Recon Wildlands is going to play very, very similarly to Metal Gear Solid 5.
I'd be into that. That'd be great, especially if I could play with 3 other friends in a co-op scenario. Like that'd be super fun. I think that's besides For Honor. I think that's the one game that I'm looking forward to that I know about from Ubisoft. In terms of just seeing gameplay. Because, again, last year we saw the trailer. It looked cool, but we didn't really see that much gameplay. They said what it was going to be, but they didn't show anything. So hopefully we see a lot of footage.
I can't wait for the new South Park.
Fractured Butthole is going to be like fucking Stick of Truth was one of the best games.
It was really good.
Stick of Truth was... Like the game part of Stick of Truth was so impressively well thought out.
It was really good.
I was blown away by that. And then the story and the comedy was just like so on point.
It's by far what I'm looking forward to most to see what Ubisoft like. I just want to see I want to know when it's coming out.
It's one of the few games where I've actually laughed. Like I've never I think it might actually be the funniest game I've ever played. I've never laughed at a game more than that game. Multiple times with huge bouts of laughter. Like
I'll never forget at the time I got front paged with Stick of Truth, and this is real, like right in the middle of my big, like family friendly thing. And here I was on the front page of Twitch, right, fighting a battle underneath 2 people going at it with balls swinging all over the screen. And I'm just sitting there the whole time, like every time the balls would swing by, I'd just be like, "I'm sorry, guys."
Dude,
I think I might have paused the game and moved my camera up to the balls to lick the
I guarantee you did that. Yeah.
Oh god, that game was so fucking.
At the
good.
time, I got my highest viewers on Twitch from Stick of Truth.
What
ever
of the? Because those are the 4 main ones, and
there's also this Eagle Flight, which I think they've said that they're bringing 2 VRs.
Game.
Yeah.
Right. It's neat, but like this isn't dropping anyone's jaw.
Right. What I want to see.
What is the jaw dropper at Ubisoft this year?
I hope they show something new for Assassin's Creed that does not look like Assassin's Creed. That is
so basically not Assassin's Creed.
That they
because Assassin's Creed is always just Assassin's Creed.
But they took a year. What I'm saying is they took a year off. I want to see what a year does for that game and how much it actually changed, if at all.
Assassin's Creed meets Clash Royale.
Wheatson.
My jaw is dropped. Take my money.
I just like that. For me, I'm most interested to see like what the fuck they're doing with that game, because that's a game where every single person in chat right now is moaning and groaning, and it's coming from the same developer of Watch Dogs 2, which they're going to moan and groan about even more. So, like, that's where Assassin's Creed is at. So what the fuck did they do that game?
I want to see an Assassin's Creed game start up, and the first sentence on the screen is, "We heard you loved Black Flag," and like that's it. And then it just launches it. Like the Assassin's Creed thing is rock solid. Obviously, they just need to implement more fun and interesting main game mechanics like Black Flag did. When I played Black Flag, I was like, "Oh shit, the Assassin's Creed franchise is coming back. We got ships now. Like, think we're gonna be building a base next time. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great." And then they just like next game, it's like, "Oh, apparently they forgot they made Black Flag."
Yeah. I mean, we might see something Rayman related. Like, when was the last?
Oh yeah, do that. Stab me in the kidney.
Triggered.
Yeah, no, that
Softly,
triggered the
like,
fuck out of
Put
Whedon.
out a cigarette in my eye because that would be better than them announcing another Rayman project before Beyond Good and Evil 2. Like that's in fact the only way I'm walking away happy with Ubisoft is if that game is announced.
If Beyond Good and Evil, you've
Yep.
waited this long.
Yep.
I'm trying to think what else what's in the rumor mill. Did we open up the rumor document? I didn't read through that yet.
Division 2.
Oh, that's
Division
right.
expansion.
They're gonna have to mention Division. I think an expansion will probably be announced because they haven't shown anything DLC wise at all for that. So I would think that's what shows.
If there is another Tom Clancy game, I'm done. I'm done.
You're out.
I mean, right? Like you're talking about how they're taking a year off for Assassin's Creed. If they don't do Beyond Good and Evil and there's another Tom Clancy game, it's like, well, guess what? We know why they're taking the years off.
Tom Clancy presents Read a Book. And they just give you a book. That's it.
Yeah.
The book.
I realize that they're popular books, popular shows, popular IPs. I have had some fun playing some of them, but obviously don't know what the people really want.
Yeah.
For real.
All
right, I'll shut up now. I'm going to shut up now.
Beyond Good and Evil.
Some of these rumors from this document or from this post are saying in December 2013, Ubisoft surveyed a new online-oriented pirating game that's similar to Assassin's Creed 4, but is its own new series. So that might be up Co's alley. But Ubisoft is also the one press conference where they will just announce something really fucking random and really out of nowhere. And that's like why I think that's why, besides the host and besides the CEO, why I enjoy their conferences the most. Also, was Wild shown at Ubisoft last year? I forgot where that was shown. Wild, yeah. Michael Ansel's, however you say his name. Let me see. Was that shown at Ubisoft? Oh no, that was shown at that was shown during Sony. That's a PS4 exclusive.
They may talk about the Batman stuff.
I thought I wrote something about
Batman
that.
stuff.
Yeah, the remastering. Oh wait, no, they're not working on that. Are
Yeah,
they?
that would be Activision. I think.
Okay.
I think that's published for that.
They made a few Batman games. I couldn't remember what's going on with that.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's going to be any new Far Cry stuff.
I hope not. I'm Far Cry out, man. Like after
Yeah, I'm kind of in that boat
We
too.
need something new.
Or
after-
felt too much like
exciting.
3.
they need a new IP. I think we're gonna have to see a new IP from them.
I mean, at this point, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is a new IP. Let's
It
be
really
real.
is. You're not wrong.
But it's
New
not
Prince
great.
of Persia?
You guys have all
No, I
played
hope
the
not.
original, right? A new Prince of Persia, I think, is totally possible, actually.
It's possible. I hope it's not. I hope it's not true though.
But that's the thing. Like, what are they gonna? Where's the?
Ubisoft has never done a
Here we go.
sci-fi game.
Ubisoft is
out.
going to announce Shadowbane 2.
Shadowbane 2.
Did any of you guys play Shadowbane?
I think so.
No, but I heard some great stories about Shadowbane.
Oh man.
Oh, Shadowbane was the MMO. I was trying to remember where I
MMO.
knew that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
This is
I
the
did
one
play
where the
that.
hackers they sent an entire town underwater and everyone died.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. I don't know. Ubisoft
Yeah.
is kind of the one where, you know, I'm excited for Wildlands. I'm excited for For Honor. South Park is going to be great. We haven't mentioned Watch Dogs 2 yet, but I think that's kind of indicative of how excited we are for that. Like, they've shown a shit ton of footage of it today, and I've got to be honest, I still haven't watched the trailer. I just can't be bothered to care about Watch Dogs.
Aisha Tyler, the
only
game.
the only Watch Dogs
amazing.
stuff I saw today was of people
Love it.
talking about it, and the enthusiasm level was in the single digits. Like it
Yeah.
was, yeah.
That's-
Now Twitter, there were some people on Twitter saying that it looked pretty cool, but the only thing I can think of is it's like, yeah, everyone was hyped for Watch Dogs 1 too. Let's wait until we, let's see the game,
Yeah.
get our hands on it, and let's play it.
Yeah,
I hope it's awesome for the.
I hope it's
like,
awesome too.
I hope it's really good. But
And I'm glad. I'm
trying to be a bit
honestly.
cautious.
Aiden was such a fucking dick. Like that character was just such an asshole that I'm so happy they have a new character or a new protagonist in the game. Like that's a smart play. And again, like I was saying about Assassin's Creed 1 and 2, I hope Watch Dogs 1 was the Assassin's Creed one and 2 is just redonkulously good. But
The
I have
slightly
no hope
concerning
for
thing
that.
is in that website we were looking at, it said right here, who wears various product placement clothing items: Ray-Ban, Diesel, Ford, Samsung, Toyota. It's like,
What if they just sold
what
the
is
game?
this?
What if the game
Yeah.
exists purely because the first one sold so well and they just got advertisers in it just to
yeah,
sell more?
that's
I don't
a
know.
little concerning.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. That's Ubisoft. That'll be at 4 p.m. on Monday. And then to close out the show,
I'm just looking forward to Aisha being back on.
it's true. Aisha does a great job. I think she's. I love the fact that they have a host that's not just like a stiff CEO going out and talking.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
refreshing
and
to
she
see that.
makes bad jokes and tries to sell them. I got respect for that.
No, I love the fucking bad jokes are awesome because she leans into them. She doesn't
Yeah.
just deliver them. If they
Yep.
fucking fail, most of the time, she's like, "That was terrible, right?" And I'm
Yep.
like,
Good
"Yes, it
presenter
was."
can make a bad joke a good joke.
Exactly.
Like, all about delivery, man.
I think she's the
All
best
about
host for sure. And then to close out on Monday evening will be Sony. And once again, who fucking knows what Sony's going to bring? Like, we
Dude,
know we're going to see a new console. That's all but confirmed from Sony, but basically confirmed that Neo is going to be shown. And I want to know how much like Xbox, if they do show the Scorpio or whatever they're going to end up calling that, how the fuck they're going to spin that. Because how do
So-
you spin a new console that's not a new console, it's just an upgraded version of your already existed one when you're going to sell both SKUs?
Just like
how do you spin
Sega
that?
did with the 32X.
It's really easy. It's PlayStation VR.
You just sell it as
Hey,
PlayStation VR?
I think that is a catalyst to then say not only are you going to need more power to do Power VR, but that's going to also end up giving you a better gaming experience overall, whether you're using VR or not. Right? It's
do you
very
think
simple.
do you think that's a big enough selling point though for the average
Yeah,
consumer?
that's what I was gonna say. That would be angling a console to literally be carried by the VR craze, which is arguably not huge right now.
But
It's
also,
Which is
a lot of people are
like
looking
the
at it, but they're not
Microsoft thing.
necessarily buying it yet.
Yeah, and they're already reporting that people are going to have to buy they're going to have two different versions of PS4 games to work on these two different consoles. So like
Right.
this is already happening. But again, I don't know. They've got a lot of selling points here from like the 4K side of it, the VR side of it, hey, do you want 60 FPS? We know people want 60 FPS. We're going to always deliver a 60 FPS experience because you're going to have this box.
right.
I'd buy it for that. I'll be
Right? Like that could be a potentially huge selling point on the console. And I think that it's how intelligently they put all those points together. But like I said, I think they're on VR. It's going to be very similar to Microsoft. It'll probably just be architecture differences.
So do you think in terms of the progression of the conference, do they show VR first and then save Neo for the very end? Where does the new hardware fall into the conference, do you think? Do they show
I
it at the very
almost
beginning
wonder-
and then they show new games on the new hardware?
Exactly. I think they have to show the hardware first. Yep.
Okay. And I wonder if they even go as far as like, this is what this software looks like running on current PlayStation 4. This is what it looks like on Neo. Like, do you shit on your own product at that point? Because that's the only way to show it is like, this is how much better it looks on this new SKU.
Well, interestingly enough, they have already said that or they believe that devs will be able to apply patches to old titles to upgrade them. So maybe we will see some old titles. It's like, well, this is how it ran before. This is what it would be like in, I don't know.
And then the
I don't
other
know.
question is, Go ahead. Nope, go ahead. Zeke.
Go.
You guys are talking. You guys, if you're going to talk about 4K and VR or that kind of shit, still,
Yeah,
I
we
was
are.
on to the game. Go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is when you launch something like Neo, when you launch new hardware that's better, looks better, you have to have some game that launches with that. Naughty Dog just released Uncharted 4. I don't think they're ready to show the new game for whatever they're working on. So you're going to get something from first-party Sony. Is this where you bust out a God of War 4?
Yes.
Okay, it may be a little early, and this ties into what you're just saying. And one of the only things that's getting me excited about the Sony conference, I wonder if we're going to hear anything about Kojima.
That's true.
That's yes, we
Because
will.
I think
they
you have
busted out
to.
a new console with a new Kojima game.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit! Like
I
that
don't-
would make heads turn.
I don't know if he's only been there for what?
That's
9
the thing.
months?
Not only
Or
has he only
6
been
months.
there, he's only been there, I think, just over half a year, if even.
Yeah.
But they've only just released still frames
I
of
just
the company logo, not
Yeah.
even like
wanted to
game.
come out on stage, grab the mic,
Yeah, but you guys,
and just fart into it, and everybody's like, "Oh!"
like you're talking about Kojima. For him to come out and be like, you know what? I've always wanted to make a game where people have swords and ride horses and do this crazy shit. And so that's the game I'm going to make. And it doesn't have to give us all the details at all. They will come. But I think something just like that would be powerful enough. Think about all the times they've used Kojima as a marketing tool when he had nothing to show.
Yeah, he's done that for
Happened
years
a
with
lot.
Metal Gear.
Did you see the stills that came out just a couple days ago?
Yeah,
Of the
yeah, yeah.
logo.
Like the new, like people don't even know if it's the game or the company. Like
The way
no one
they're
has
wording it
any
is so
idea.
fucking weird.
He's just releasing cool art, and he's like,
Look at it. You like it, don't you?
Yeah.
it seriously, it's like no one even knows what it is, and me included. I'm like, this looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like who wears a skull face mask? Like it looks so awesome. But yeah, anyway, I'm hoping to hear more about that at E3.
I mean, I think that'll.
that's all I care about from Sony.
I think the thing is I don't know what Sony can show after last year when they basically fucking pulled down their pants and gave you the biggest show of your life. Like they showed so much fucking crazy shit last year that no one expected, and if they one up themselves,
This year's E3 is gonna suck.
like how do you one up last year? They had so
You
much.
announce,
I know,
you
right?
announce a Last Guardian release date that's super close to the show.
Okay,
You definitely have Naughty Dog, whether they are ready to show anything, announce, what will happen with Uncharted or The Last of Us 2 or a new IP or something.
Let's not gloss over Last of Us 2. We're going to come back to that right now.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
I mean, do you think? I don't know if they. We've said it so many times, and I think it's been talked about so many times.
and
I hope The Last of Us 2 is dead. I hope they don't make a Last of Us 2. I hope that IP's gone.
You should go ahead and whenever you have your next available opportunity, die in a fire.
I hope that story's dead. And if they do a Last of Us 2,
It was the open-ended ending. How can you say that?
if they do a Last of Us 2, I hope it's a completely new story
yeah.
in that world. Yeah.
I think, and lots of chat have been talking about it, but I think the mic drop E3 moment might be during Sony's conference if they do Red Dead Redemption 2. I just think.
Well,
it
that's
would
the
just
thing is
like-
we have the outliers. Is where does the new Rockstar game, because apparently they're going to have one. As far as I know, everything I've read, Rockstar is going to have something new in terms of a new IP this year. Where does that? Do they go with Sony because that's where most units have been sold, or do they get an exclusive on Microsoft because they gave more money? Like, where I don't know where it would show up, but wherever that shows up is going to have a shit ton of eyes on it.
So you got to remember a couple things. You're right about SKUs. There's way more sold in like the current in the current climate.
For PlayStation, yeah.
Right. Back in 2009, Sony announced something called Agent.
Right.
That was a partnership with Rockstar. And that apparently this is still in development, some sort of 1970s espionage, cool spy game, whatever.
Yeah.
I think just based off of those couple of things, like this still pre-existing relationship, what has happened in the past, how things have gone, what Red Dead did on the previous consoles, etc. It would make sense to me that they would. Like Sony probably went after them.
Yeah. As long as it comes to PC, I don't care what console it's shown at E3.
Wait, 2009, did that project get canceled or is it still being worked on?
The trademark
Apparently
got
it's
renewed
still- yeah.
last week or some shit.
And it's still
7 years later?
in development. Yeah. It was pretty ambitious, dude. It was
Yeah.
a fairly ambitious project. So yeah.
Wow. Cool.
I really hope it's. I really hope Red Dead 2 is shown more so than a Naughty Dog game right now. Like, Naughty Dog's going to make another game. I can't wait to see what it is, but I think I'd be more excited for a Red Dead 2 right now.
I never finished the first one, to be honest.
Yeah, the ending is the reason that game is so good, 100%. And I've said that every time you've said that, so eventually you need to finish it.
One day.
We saw Horizon Zero Dawn. They put out a trailer this week. Looks cool. Looks just like we saw last year. Looks super fun. I'm excited for that. I think that world looks really fucking interesting. With,
that's the Mechano-Dinos,
the
right?
mechanical dinosaur
Oh,
things.
that game looks so awesome.
The what is that post-future mod?
Yeah.
What is it? I don't know what post-meter whatever it's called. It looks great.
Futuristic fantasy.
Is that what it's called? Futuristic fantasy?
I don't know.
Postmodernism, futurism. Let's call it that. I don't know.
Sounds like
That
I
was
read a rumor about Hearthstone on PS4.
You know, Blizzard does tend to randomly show up at like someone's conference at E3 and be like, "Yeah, so we're bringing Diablo to a PlayStation."
Yeah, right.
So
That'd be pretty interesting for them.
yeah, yeah,
I want to hear what Zeke has to say about Last of Us 2.
yeah. Go ahead, Zeke. We did kind of steal your thunder.
No. I'm not saying there's nothing to say about it. That's like, if you want to know what I want to see most out of this
That would
The
be
Last
it.
of Us.
Okay.
Sony's conference, it would be a
Not
last.
God of War 4?
God of War. I mean, God of War is great, but
So
I
there's
been so many of them.
love a good
But-
story.
So
How can you get hyped? Like, okay, God of Wars have always been cool, but it's like they're all the exact same game.
what
It's
if
just
they did
graphics
God of
get better.
War? What if they did God of War, but in a different mythology?
Then it wouldn't be God of War.
Well, that's what
There's Kratos. I mean, that's the main character.
mythology this time. That'll be
Right.
Norse mythology. This time.
God of War is a game that has gotten better through technology because they've been able to increase the scale, right? When you
Right.
played God of War 2, it's suddenly like you're fighting on Gaia and like all this thing. It's totally like I have not yet. I even God of War 3 didn't do it the way I thought it was going to in terms of it being like, okay, this is a PlayStation 3, man. They should fucking nail the scale on this. But like, I give him this last chance. I mean, I love God of War. Kratos is awesome just because he's a badass. And I don't even know if he would be the one in it.
Yeah.
But I would want scale. That's what I was so drawn to in that game is how they represented that. So
Yeah, I mean that was always the best part of God of War for sure. Square Enix, I would think last year, of course, Final Fantasy VII was shown, or the whatever the fuck it's called, the remake was shown at Sony. So anything that Square
Or-
Enix is probably going to show at the Sony conference, and I would,
Kingdom Hearts 3.
yeah, I think you have to show something new for Kingdom Hearts 3. They are putting out a trailer for Kingdom Hearts 2.8
2.8
Final Mix
prologue.
today, or whatever the fuck it's called. Came out today, which means they're probably going to make way for Kingdom Hearts 3 at Sony's conference on Monday, which a lot of people are super hyped for. I think that would probably be the game of the show for a lot of people, just even if it's there, regardless of what they show, because that has such a rabid fan base. But
Yeah.
I don't know, out of the blue news, like if you would have told me they were going to announce a Shenmue Kickstarter and Final Fantasy VII Remake last year, like no one predicted that. There wasn't a single fucking person that predicted that. And they kept it so well closely guarded and so secret. So I don't know what they bring besides, like a Red Dead 2 or something.
Surprise us. We don't need sequels. New
Yeah.
IPs are great. I
New
want to be
IPs are great.
surprised. Yeah.
What?
Can I just? I know we have like one more to talk about, but and I'm not just because I'm a PSologist, but I really do think Sony has good positioning to sort of steal the show again.
I think so. I think it'll be interesting. I think the biggest thing will be how Microsoft and Sony talk and announce Neo and Scorpio, or whatever
Totally.
it's called. Like the messaging for that has to be completely on point. And if they fuck that up, then people are going to be so goddamn confused.
Right.
The general consumer is going to be so fucking confused on what they have to do in order to
I
play
agree.
the next set of games. Like, that's going to be the biggest thing.
Can they do it?
I don't know. Injustice 2 was shown today. I don't know what console or what conference that'll show up on. The rumors in this thread are showing Shadow of Mordor 2, that Warner has commissioned a CG trailer for Shadow of Mordor 2 a long time ago. That game sold incredibly fucking well. And they kind of...
It was a great game.
It was a fantastic fucking game, so I would not be surprised if that shows up somewhere. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like outside the box what could pop up at Sony, but everyone's saying Crash Bandicoot comes out.
Sony is now presenting Kojima presents Beyond Good and Evil 2.
There you go.
There
you go. They bought the IP.
I'd be okay with that.
And Last of Us 2.
I would be okay with that. I think just with Kojima and potentially Red Dead Redemption 2, Shadow of Mordor 2 is rumored to be, to be there.
That game was
Last
really
Guardian.
fun,
Yeah.
Last Guardian will be shown, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Want to see that shit?
Yep. I think that's pretty much it, except for La La Land, which is Nintendo the next day.
My only other prediction of Sony.
Stuff?
Yeah, we talked about them a good bit.
Take Two. Okay, I would love to see a new game by Ken Levine there. That's rumored.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Ken Levine is
The writer of BioShock.
He needs to be making games all the time forever.
He does make amazing games.
I would love to see that. That's another one that I'm looking forward to. Maybe.
Also, first of all, before you move on from it completely, what were you saying, DJ?
I just was going to say, I do think there'll probably be a big sequel or big name game coming back to support a PlayStation VR initiative, right? Just like the whole thing, you're not going to sell a console without the VR. Like whatever that might be, if they're tied in together, the new console, VR, like they will probably try to get people hyped for it with a killer app in that regard.
That would be, it would make sense because when you look at VR, we've always said like the games aren't there yet. Sony, I think, has positioned themselves to be the people that make the games that make VR wantable and make VR a thing that actually makes sense in like the gaming space. So whatever they decide to put on PlayStation VR and show, if they can find a way to show that via a fucking live stream, I'll be excited for that. But that's like that they're shooting for the moon to be able to show something that looks good, is VR only, and works on a live stream. Like, I don't know how you show that.
And more importantly, is actually fun to play and not just like a VR tech demo.
Exactly.
80% of the available content right now for VR stuff. That's one of the things that honestly has not gotten me super jazzed about VR right now. I'm waiting for a Elder Scrolls VR or Witcher VR or Mass Effect VR. Like, give me an actual meaningful game that I would really enjoy playing normally on PC that is just amazing in VR. That's I think the connecting point that's really missing right now. But also
that's true.
About companies we haven't really talked about yet. CD Projekt Red is going to be at E3. And even though there was the leaked Gwent physical edition or Gwent standalone stuff, I'm really hoping there's more than that.
You hope they show some not CD Projekt.
CD Projekt Red has said that there will not be any Cyberpunk talk at E3.
Oh, okay.
They've said
it. That there was not, which of course made me immediately burst into tears. However, they did say they would beat E3. They have mentioned that there are things happening at CD Projekt Red that are not Witcher that they want to talk about. And the thinking now here is is it going to be Gwent? Do they mean that it was going to be Gwent stuff they're focusing on? It's not, but even though it's kind of Witcher related, or it's really weird. I'm kind of hoping they're going to drop a bomb of some kind. I really hope that CD Projekt Red is going to be like, hey, so CD Projekt or Cyberpunk comes out in a couple years, but until then, boom, like something big.
That'd be cool.
But I don't know. CD Projekt Red in the last year has quickly become my, if not my very close to top producer of games. So I'm really hoping that they kind of use this hype and just keep the ball rolling.
Right.
Just
I mean, there's a reason that was on so many Game of the Year lists as number one
Yeah.
last year. Like,
But I gotta say, man, if the only thing they announced at E3 is this Gwent standalone stuff, I'm gonna be disappointed.
I think you and a fuck ton of other people, definitely, for sure. We got about 10 minutes left, but I think that's just enough time to talk about what Nintendo's bringing to the show because it's basically one game. Like, they've announced they're bringing like 2 or 3 others, but no one cares about that. It's only Zelda that we care about, and that's what they're going to be showing.
I heard it's literally the only playable game
For
that they're
Nintendo.
like, right? That'll be. I'm sure they're going to have like some other playables in it, but from
There's
them,
like 2 or 3, yeah.
yeah,
I
because they're going to show other stuff, but being playable is a big deal.
like
Are you excited?
I guess so, but I'm also kind of like it's deflated hype in the sense that whatever they show is not going to look as good as it would be on their new console, theoretically. So I'd rather see the new console with Zelda attached to that. Like that would get me super fucking hyped. But just Zelda, it'll be cool. I want to see what they're doing, especially if all these rumors, from previous employees saying that you're playing a female character and everything's voiced. It's not just like gobbledygook bullshit that Zelda's always been. Exactly, yeah. Like that's a huge change for that series. But Nintendo's got to do something like that. That has to be the shit at E3, or else it's just gonna.
Surprising that they're just kind of like, hey, this is our basket. There's an egg in there. It's Zelda Wii U, and
Yeah.
that's like, can they do that? Right? Like, will fans be upset? Do they need this year off because of the new console? Like, it's really interesting with Pokemon Sun and Moon. That's obviously going to be huge for them. Maybe they'll show out. They'll probably release a bazillion new amiibos.
Yeah, but if they
they're supposed to have a special thing on Pokemon Go, which everyone's like wanting.
That's the mobile Pokemon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna say something a lot of people are gonna hate, but I'm done with Nintendo.
Just
Like,
completely done.
I've been done with them for years, to be honest. Like it's gotten to the point where it's just become an echo chamber of their own content, and the few times they go outside of it, it's one-offs, and it's like I don't know, man. This is gonna sound weird because I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's sacrilegious that he's saying that."
Not weird.
I don't think it's weird.
I feel like I've outgrown Nintendo.
And they know that, Co. I think they know. I think that one of the biggest issues that Nintendo has right now is that they have no problem hitting the demographic they hit. It's the same demographic we were when Nintendo, came out, right? But they are having a problem keeping this demographic. Nostalgia, yes, that plays the right strings, but like the reason I bought a Wii U was because of Bayonetta 2. That was like a smart move by Nintendo
I was
to do
just gonna
that.
say, that's the one game that they're like, here you go, adults. Here's a cracker.
Which is actually hilarious because there was rumors that Beyond Good and Evil 2 would be an NX exclusive, and if that happens, I'll be buying that one. So I mean, it's just like, but they're like kind of throwing out half a line to get me back, but then not the whole way, right? Maybe they threw out the
throwing
line.
the hook out without the bait on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hoping you'll bite.
And I'm
for a Smash Brothers.
I hear you loud and clear. I really do. And I think I feel for them because it's awesome. Like, I love that my kid plays Nintendo games, and sometimes I get involved. Like, that's my involvement with Nintendo games. But like, how are you going to get us back?
And the worst part is it's like I want to like them. Like, I look for reasons or something to kind of make me want to come back into the fold. But it's every time they try something new, I'm just kind of like, this is kind of cool, and back to my PC. Like it's not the same. But I don't know. I totally understand why people like have played every Zelda game and stuff like that. Dude, I haven't played a Zelda game for like 4, 5, 6 years. Like,
Skyward Sword was the last one. I didn't even finish it.
Yeah.
It was just bad. Like, I just didn't enjoy that game. I know a lot of people that did, but it just, like, I fucking hope this new Zelda game is like the second coming of Christ. I hope it's so fucking good. But I just know that
boy.
like it's not gonna fucking
not.
deliver that to me. So I don't know like what I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna be just like everyone else, and it's gonna be over. And I'm just gonna be fucking upset because like it's not what I want from Nintendo. So I think that's that. But yeah, E3 starts Sunday. So there you go.
But just out of curiosity, real quick, who do you think's going to take the show? Anyone want to throw that out there?
There's so
many ifs.
unknowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so
there
like I want Bethesda to steal the show again. I don't know if they have the firepower to do it. Literally, I don't know if they have the projects they could do it. Now I hope they do. But I think Sony Sony probably has the most ammunition. Like if Sony does it right, I think Sony could steal the show.
Chad is so Sony biased right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying Sony.
Especially if they drop a Kojima nuke on us, like that's
the weapons and the ammunition to do it.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see Bethesda do it. I think it'd be interesting if CD Projekt Red had something big. Although they're just one studio, so they couldn't really
Right.
guys. But I think Sony or Bethesda is probably the big one. I'd love to see something huge from CD Projekt Red. I don't think Nintendo is going to perform very well again. It's for the second
they're
time.
only bringing 2 games.
Yeah, so we'll see.
I think if Bethesda shows something, either new IP or a new Elder Scrolls, I think they win show, like they did last year with Fallout. Especially if they're saying, and it's coming out in November. If they do that shit again, like
Oh, whoa.
people would
Dude,
fucking
that would
lose their
be-
mind.
I gotta admit, man, I'm really excited to watch this live with you guys, and
Yeah.
especially like everyone in chat and stuff. Like we're all going to see this at the same time.
That's
Like, there's
fucking
so
the
much
best.
anticipation for what could be. It's
Yeah.
like this is like a major movie release. You know, it's like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be good stuff?
Yeah.
And the other thing, I see a lot of people saying From Software, I hope they take a year off and then come back next year with whatever the next
Bloodborne 2.
Souls-ish game is. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm okay if they don't.
Dude, what if they do Bloodborne 2?
It's good.
Dark
Announce-
Souls 3 has been out for months at this point. It wouldn't be.
I would not be surprised if Bloodborne 2 shows up at PS.
I could see them announce something, not necessarily for this year, but I could see them tease something.
2 years. I mean, what? I'm trying to think in terms of announce cycle. Have they announced 2 years prior for every Souls game, or is it a year and a half? What?
Wait, is Dark Souls 3 going to have DLC?
Yeah, they've already announced that. That'll be shown probably at E3.
Yeah.
They've already
haven't-
announced
yeah,
they're
I
doing
haven't
2 DLCs for it.
Oh, cool.
One at
Okay,
the
great.
end of 2016 and one at the start of 2017. So
Great.
I totally forgot about that. We'll probably see something for that. Yeah, I think.
Oh, the Cavalier. The bomb Kojima could drop would be a new Silent Hill.
Well, that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, that would be
Oh,
amazing.
that would be
like a
amazing.
spiritual PT.
If he just goes a complete, like, if he just says, like, you know what, Metal Gear was good, but we're just gonna make another Silent Hill game.
Yeah. God, imagine if no, I don't. They don't have the rights to Metal Gear, right?
No. In fact, Konami is actually putting out a new pachinko machine that's branded Metal Gear that they announced
People
via
mad.
YouTube like last week or 2
mad,
weeks
bro.
ago.
No, I said I did the fart noise for Kojima, of course, but you know, as a gamer, you gotta love him. You gotta.
Yeah.
I swear to, if he announced that they were gonna be like, or I don't know the politics behind it, but if they said me and Del Toro are getting back together and we're gonna finish PT.
I don't know if they could buy PT, but they could definitely make a horror game together. I think that's possible.
Chat's talking about Silent Hill VR. Nope.
No, fuck that.
no.
If he fucking wins
Hell
the
no.
PlayStation, I'm gonna be so fucking upset.
Oh my
Because
god.
I will
dude.
never play that game. It would be too fucking scary. People are actually gonna have a heart attack if that's true. People will play that game and have a heart attack next week. 100%.
They'd be responsible for deaths.
Yeah.
Like that would be.
You don't want that. You don't want that, Kojima. You don't want that.
Oof.
Let's go around here real quick. What's the one thing you're looking forward to most? We'll start with Zeke because we've been talking over him all show long.
That's all right. I'm just the color, anyways. You guys do your thing, and I'll just Like I said, I'll make fart noises.
There you go.
The thing that I'm looking forward to most,
Yes, the singular thing.
well, it's like the speculation stuff or the actual that I know that's coming.
Anything. It's
Both.
all on the table.
Let's do both.
I'm always looking forward to the Bethesda. I love Bethesda. I'm a Bethesda fanboy. I love everything they do.
Okay.
But if Ken Levine announces another game, I will jizz my pants.
Okay.
Who would he announce it with, though, you think?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where his allegiances lie,
I
or
don't know.
where
Kind of a free
the
agent
money
these days.
would sit. Yeah. For both developer and publisher, like, has he even said where his his development house has landed?
I think he's kind of consulting these days, if I'm not mistaken. Let me hold it. But I was last time, so let me take a look.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
I think Bethesda is what most people are looking forward to as well. Just because after last year, Zeke, like, they made a fucking They honestly changed E3. Like, they changed E3 with what they did last year. And there's a reason why EA is now doing it before them. Like, now it's going to start Saturday next year. Then a year after that, it's going to start Friday, and E3 is going to be 2 weeks long.
Yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous.
It's going to be like Christmas,
It'll be fantastic.
like 3 months of Christmas.
I love it. Bring it on. Zeke, or not Zeke. Sorry, I looked at Wheat and said Zeke. Wheat, what about you? What's the singular thing? I think I already know what it is.
I mean, it is my thing every year.
Right. Besides
and,
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
So besides Beyond Good and Evil 2, I would just have to say, I'll be a little bit more general like Zeke. And I have to say, I think that I'm most curious in Sony, but I think my most watchful eye will be on Bethesda and Ubisoft because I think they have a lot to prove.
Okay.
So I'll say Sony.
All right, there you go. Coat?
Oh.
Did you
Yeah,
find-
real quick before we start, apparently, interestingly, Levine and a small number of others remained on board at Irrational Games to work on a, quote, smaller, more entrepreneurial project for
Oh, that's right. I remember when they had all those people let go. He stuck
Yeah, and
around.
apparently it's going to be an Unreal 4.
Well,
Interesting. So
maybe
he's
we'll see
actually
some on
still
that.
with them. I thought he left with them. Well, there you go. Learn something
There you
every day.
go.
For me,
Go ahead, Coat.
like I'm kind of in the same boat as Zeke. I'm hoping it's Bethesda, but I don't know if they're going to have the guns. I think Sony's going to be behind it, if not in front of it, depending on what they have to offer. And then my hope is that CD Projekt Red will wow us all, and that's kind of where we are. That's
There you
kind of
go.
where we are. There's so many unknowns going into E3 that it just makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than any other E3 before, because
Last year was so
last year was just fucking out
last
of nowhere.
year was just it was not only out of nowhere, but it was just like announcement after announcement after announcement. It was like a machine gun of hype
Yeah.
to your face that you couldn't hold back.
I think
and it's like
that's
this year, if this year is half of last year, it'll be wildly successful.
yeah.
So but at the same time, the
true.
bar is so much higher now. Like it's gonna be wild to see the reception, not only from us and Twitch, but from the entire, like, all the people watching E3. Like, how is this year going to compare to last year?
Right.
And how is the hype level going to be? And it's going to be a very interesting thing to see.
Yeah. I think for me, it's kind of a non-answer, but whatever it is that they have held back to make the big splash like they did last year, whatever
Yeah.
that is, that's what I'm excited for. Regardless of if they fucking just come out on Sony stage and announce a new Hello Kitty goddamn VR game, I'm still excited to see that because that's fucking so out of left field that's awesome. So whatever it is that whoever's holding something back and no one knows because they've actually kept a secret, which is one of the hardest things to do in the fucking video game world. Whatever that is, I'll fucking lose my shit over. And-
E3 2016, the year Half-Life 3 was finally announced.
Oh man. I didn't go
Again, we've talked about that fucking apocalypse scenario. Like, if that ever happens, that
It'll be terrible.
it would be the. It was just
It's gonna be like the fucking Batman and Robin of games. Like it's gonna be like touted as the worst game of all time.
yeah.
Even if it is the best game of all time, it will still go down in history as the worst.
Yep.
No, I just want to let you guys know the other thing I'm looking forward to, and I don't know if anybody else that you know, like out in the chat or whoever's is going to be actually at E3. I will report back to you on the Naughty America porn booth VR.
Yeah, no, I want to hear
I
about
can't
that.
wait to hear about it.
I will report
Don't-
back. I will go there because I know Naughty America. I'm very familiar with their products.
Don't give it to those schmucks at Twitch. All right, save that coverage for drop frames.
I will
Yeah.
let you know how it was.
Yes,
He
save
can
that coverage for drop
Make
frames.
sure to bring
Privately,
lots
I want the private one.
of- media examples, screenshots,
Screenshots.
anything you could bring.
One of
would
the
be-
funniest videos I saw from last year in media coverage was at the fucking Las Vegas convention that happens in January. What's that called, Wheat? I know you know it.
It's adult.
No, not the adult one. The giant not
Oh,
entertainment.
CES.
Yeah, CES
Yeah.
Las Vegas every year. Funniest thing was I think it might have been The Verge. Anyways, they're in a hotel room. This guy hands him a VR headset. He puts it on and he goes, "There's a giant pair of tits in front of my face." And he just does the entire demo as they're filming it on YouTube with him reacting to things, putting his hands up and everything. And I can't, Zeke, if you do this, please fucking have a camera go with you.
I'll bring someone along to the
Just
I'll
fucking-
be your cameraman.
Just pull
Zeke.
out your phone
Want to do
and
that.
start recording yourself because I think
I'll do
I
it.
want to see some Zeke airboning.
it'll be some fucking hilarious shit.
Oh yeah. No, I'll let you know. Like I'll give you a play-by-play.
All right. Well, there
Not
you
only
go.
what I'm seeing, but how I'm feeling when I'm starting to swell up, maybe. And like,
There you go.
Done.
There you go. Guys, Twitch's coverage will begin on, when is that, Marcus and Wheat? Is that same time as ours?
Sunday, 1 p.m. I believe for EA, and then there'll be a slight break, and then Bethesda. So look for those two spots on the pre-show, and then from there it's like almost like when
it
is
just
it?
goes on. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Our drop frames coverage with Miko, Strippin, and Dodger will begin at the same time. We'll be going till, I think we might do the Nintendo thing on Tuesday morning, but we'll see. We haven't actually talked with everyone about that. So, but regardless, there's going to be a ton of E3 coverage here on Twitch next week, and you can find it all under the E3 2016 game, which is where you're watching this right now. So let's do some shout outs and get the fuck out of here. Zeke, we'll start with you.
what is up? Thank you. Big, huge thank you to DJ Wee for being here. Love talking with him. Look forward to seeing you in LA. Where's my faux R boys? I'm Ezekiel the Third. Most people just call me Zeke. I will variety broadcaster here on Twitch. But I will be at E3 doing the pre show with my buddies John Carnage, Future Man Gaming, Man versus Game, the Kelly Link, and is there anybody else? I'm not sure. Special guests and whatnot. But I'll be plastering it all over my Twitter. You'll find out when it's going. I want to thank also Co Carnage and JP for having me on as well. As always, being great co-host, and wish you guys luck with your E3 coverage. That's it. That's all I got.
There you go. Co, some shout outs.
Awesome. My name is Ko. It's been a pleasure being here today with buddy Zeke and JP and DJ Wheat, an always phenomenal guest. You can find me at twitch.tv/CoCarnage. Going to be doing a variety of things over the next few days, checking out a few Terraria copies, Planet Centauri and Kriya. Going to be checking those out soon. Also Dead by Daylight, more Total War, all sorts of fun stuff. And then E3 with JP, Stripper, and Dodgen. Can't wait to see that with you guys. It's going to be like we're Stripper, yes, Stripper and Dodge.
Stripper and Dodge.
It's the new band I heard they came up with. But anyway, hope to see you there. You can find me at twitch.tv/CoCarnage, streaming every day at 8 a.m. EDT. Thank you for watching today, guys, and see you at E3.
There you go. Are you losing your voice?
Yes.
You getting sick?
3 days ago, my voice went out while I was casting. Actually, 2 days ago. So literally, I was talking, and then and it just
all
went
right.
off that night,
Worse.
and I've been like on a little recovery since then.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
my-
rest up because we got a lot of
throat's torn
talking
out
to do next week.
I'll sign language if I have to, man. Just saying, we'll figure it out.
We'll
I'll be
figure it
there
out.
for E3.
There you go. There you go. Wheat, some shout outs.
Hey, as always, shout out to the Drop Frames crew for having me on. It's a pleasure. Zeke, Co, and JP, as always. Yeah, you know where E3 will be happening. Whether you're going to be co-streaming it and sharing it with your community, that's awesome too. Just make sure you're polling /Twitch and you set your game to E3 2016. We'll be on the main channel Twitch, but we love the fact that we're able to share this coverage with everyone else to share it with their communities. So it might be one of the things we're most excited about this year, just to see like how big E3 coverage can actually get. So thank you for having me on. Can't wait for E3. Let's hope and pray for Beyond Good and Evil 2 every day until day 0. I need your help, people.
Presented by Tom Clancy.
Yeah, Tom Clancy's Beyond Good and Evil. No, where's that? That's the nightmare I'm going to have the day before. Thanks for having me, guys. It's always a pleasure.
Can't wait to talk Preacher with you.
Ah, yes.
Oh yeah, me and
yeah.
We'd have been talking. Have you caught up? Are you caught up, Zeke?
No, there's only 2 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I watched the first episode.
Okay.
I didn't watch the second one yet.
Watch the second on the plane. That'll be good.
Okay.
That'll be good.
Oh, Men's Day tonight too.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be playing with Man vs. What are you guys playing?
It's National Best Friends Day.
What are you playing? Do you know?
Yeah, Lovers in a Strange.
Oh yeah, Stranger.
The space game.
Yeah, it's fun.
Lovers in a Strange Space Time.
Space time. Okay. Cool.
Space time.
Well, what time are you going live? As soon as you finish here and drive over there, or what's going on?
I don't know, dude. We don't know. We might just chat for an hour. Just no specific time, but it's on.
Okay, there you go. So tune in
Yep.
sometime on Man's channel, your channel.
I'm assuming it's Man's channel.
Okay, Man's channel, Manverse Game, twitch.tv/Manverse Game. So there you go. That'll do it, guys. That was our pre-3 show. We'll see you for actual E3 beginning this Sunday, as we'll all be bringing content on our own respective places and channels. We're out. Have a good one.
Peace.
Bye-bye.